in the aftermath of the abduction of reportedly more than 200 persons. About 131 rescue children were handed over to the governor of the state. We have Marvelous Oboman, who is joining us from Kaduna State this morning to share with us, what the latest is, and the little details here and there. Morning, Marvelous. Good to see you.
Good morning.
All right. Tell us a little bit, about the release of these children. I was, a little critical, earlier this morning, about some of the things that I had seen, how there weren't questions being asked to the military personnel and the security agencies there about, what happened, were the kidnappers arrested, was ransom paid, what about the others that they reportedly said were still in captivity? Those questions didn't seem to, have any answers.
All right. First of all, let's start with the figures. We've been having discrepancies in the figures since on Sunday, where the state governor is saying 287 and the military is saying 137. Initially, we were expecting these children as early as around 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, because we learned they were rescued midnight into Sunday morning. But then we waited all throughout that day. We didn't see them because they said they were going to Zamfara to bring these children back. And then from Zamfara to Kaduna back is about 10 hours. So that we should all go and come back yesterday. So, and then we noticed a few parents on ground that Sunday, about 2 or 3. Now, what begins to boggle our mind is the fact that yesterday, when they brought these children, the army said that they arrived that Sunday afternoon, but they weren't allowed to bring these children to the government house because the children need to undergo medical care and all. So officially, the number that the military released to the governor is 131 out of the 138. They said one of the teachers with them that was abducted, didn't make it alive. So they have 136. Okay, so now they officially handed 131 to the governor and saying about 6 of them are still undergoing medical care at a military hospital here in Kaduna. And then when they are done, when they are strong enough, they will bring them to the governor. So officially, what was handed over was 131. And then something that also boggles our mind is the fact that how can you be handing over these students and none of their parents were on ground to even identify these children? Now, these children there could be a mix of maybe some of them that rescued might have been kidnapped by other, kidnappers in a different camp, and they all brought them together. So those who are in the real, capacity to, first of all, identify these children are their parents. But their parents were not on ground yesterday, so everything seems to be shrouded in secrecy and all. So even that yesterday, we were expecting that maybe at the end of the day, maybe they will call their parents and all, but we didn't see that. And we heard that maybe they will be having a banquet with the parents today. But then I put a call across to one of the parents and said, these children are back, and when are they likely going to release them to you? They said they don't even know that the children were coming to the government house today, that they don't know. They only told them that once the children are back, they will let them know. In fact, the parent was not asking me, the journalist, when is the government releasing the children to them? When are they going to see their children? So those are serious issues that that the government needs to come out forward and let us know what exactly that is happening. Because initially we were hearing 287. Now the governor is now aligning himself with the figure the military is giving and all.
Marvelous.
And then why are the parents not there to receive their children?
Marvelous, my heart breaks at this report that you're giving to us right now. Just hearing the fact that these parents are actually kept in the dark. Are not very well aware of what exactly is going on. So if I hear you correctly, from 287 we have 138. One of them died, so 137 left. 6 undergoing medical checkup, so 131 were handed over to the military. Was there any explanation as to how exactly the numbers reduced from 287 to 138? Was there any explanation? Because what we're hearing is that it was a mistake. And I'm wondering why this mistake was not corrected at the point where this became news. That's one. I think my second question would be how these children, you said from Zamfara back to Kaduna was 10 hours. How were these terrorists able to move these children from Kaduna to Zamfara without anyone noticing?
All right, that even as on the 7th, this abduction happened, what everybody were reporting was 287. And in fact, when the governor visited the community and the village head said they were 287, and then the governor went around the community. They did a head count. School said it was 287. Even as a Sunday morning, if you saw the release that the governor did, he still affirmed that it was 287. Not until the military came and said 137, that was what they rescued. I know then the governor was now like, yes, it is 137. So there are discrepancies in the figure. That is why we had wanted the parents to be around that yesterday to also tell us how many children were abducted. So if some of them were not able to see their parents, then they can start, their children rather, they can then start raising the alarm. So we don't know why the parents was not alarmed, because they are in a better position to tell us if all their children were rescued or not. So they are and of course, you know that how this whole thing started. Since on the 7th that this kidnapping happened, you know, look at when the government, the Inspector General of Police deployed the rescue team. I think 2 weeks later, I knew in 2014 when the Chibok issue happened, it took civil society organizations and the international community to start raising issues, and that was what gave birth to the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. So there seems to be a culture of silence and not being taking proactive steps. Look at something that happened, and then it was just about 2 weeks ago, they deployed the rescue team and all the rest of them. And then you now ask yourself, how were these bandits able to take these children from the forest down to Zamfara? From Kaduna State here is about 5 hours drive to northern Zamfara. So how were they able to take them there and all?
I mean, these are the
whole children moved
exactly.
to their camp? Was the whole children rescued and all? So it's something that, they really need to tell us what exactly is happening.
There's so many questions that need to be asked, really. So many questions that need to be answered. This looks very sketchy. It looks very dodgy. I don't know how these children have been rescued and their parents are not even aware when they'll be handed back to them. But Marvelous, you're doing a great job. Thank you for bringing us updates. As soon as we get updates regarding this, I mean, keep in touch with the parents. I would like to get feedback as soon as we can.
All right. I will.